reporting. I want to show you an image of the van. It's now under the blue tarp. You see it right there. If you look in clearly, these are Republican-leaning, the president, the vice president, the GOP logo, and to the bottom left of that window on the left there, CNN sucks, a sticker we see at Trump rallies around the country. I want to point out this is the van that's been taken into custody, the van Mr. Cesar Sayoc, as Evan Perez just outlined. We show you these pictures here. This gets to the motivation of Mr. Sayoc, obviously. How does that, Tom Perez, when you see the president, the vice president, the Republican logo, the American flag, the presidential seal, and CNN sucks, knowing what is alleged here?
Right. Well,
moving at least a dozen packages.
That'll be addressed in the interview process. First of all, they'll go through the bombs and that were mailed and whether they were going to explode or not or how he made them. But they'll go into those kind of things. I mean, that essentially is the equivalent of a social media posting publicly done without the internet, just sticking a window sticker on your window. So they'll go into all of his possible leanings and whether that led to the motivation to want to do this, and his target selection, why he picked out the people he did to send these packages to.
And I don't know if Evan is still with us or not. We mentioned in the past, before we knew the suspect's name, that we believed he had a criminal history. This is just unfolding, so I don't mean to put you on the spot. Do we have any indication of what that past history is now that we know the name? We don't have Evan Perez, I'm sorry. So just take me through that process now. Now we know the name of the suspect. The FBI, of course, has known for some time since they investigated him. In terms of criminal history, relevant, obviously, in any event, but what are you looking for to piece this together?
Well, if he's been arrested before, then he would have been fingerprinted. So if they had gotten one fingerprint off of any of these packages that would have come back and matched to him, that's a major clue. DNA also. We don't know if he was a suspect in cases where his DNA was taken and also on file. So that's two major forensic leads, the fingerprints and the possible DNA.
And our great crime and justice team has more reporting. Let's bring in Shimon Prokupecz, who has some additional details. Shimon?
Yeah, so given now that we're showing these images on the suspect's van, specifically, obviously, the president, the vice president, and then that CNN sucks. You know, when I was talking to law enforcement sources about this, they all along had thought that the packages that were meant for CNN that were delivered, and one of them was delivered here, it was because he was targeting CNN.
Shimon, stand by. We're going to listen now and go to the White House, listen to the President of the United States. This is a black leadership event. That is why the cheering is there, despite the gravity of this day. We're told the President will address this incident and the arrest at the top of these remarks. Again, he's speaking to a black leadership summit previously scheduled at the White House. May seem a little off tone, if you will, with the gravity of the day, but that's not the fault of the people in the room. Let's listen to the President of the United States.
They call this, as you know, this is Young Black Leadership, and it's the summit. And to have you here is truly my privilege. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk. We're going to meet. But before I do, I'd like to begin, and you are leaders. You're real leaders. I'd like to begin today's remarks by providing an update on the packages and devices that have been mailed to high-profile figures throughout our country and a media organization. I am pleased to inform you that law enforcement has apprehended the suspect and taken him into custody. It's an incredible job by law enforcement. We've carried out a far-reaching federal, state, and local investigation to find the person or persons responsible for these events. These terrorizing acts are despicable and have no place in our country. No place. I've instructed authorities to spare no resource or expense in finding those responsible and bringing them to swift and certain justice. And we will prosecute them, him, her, whoever it may be, to the fullest extent of the law. We must never allow political violence to take root in America. Cannot let it happen. And I'm committed to doing everything in my power as president to stop it. And to stop it now. To stop it now. I have just concluded a briefing with the Department of Justice following the apprehension of the suspect. I want to applaud the FBI, Secret Service, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, the NYPD, and all law enforcement throughout the entire country, incredible partners. These people have worked so hard, and to have done it so quickly, it's looking like it's a needle in a haystack. How do you do this so quickly? They've done an incredible, incredible job, and I want to congratulate them. But the bottom line is that Americans must unify, and we must show the world that we are united together in peace and love and harmony as fellow American citizens. There is no country like our country, and every day we are showing the world just how truly great we are. So you are really very special people. I wanted to say that before our little talk. And I appreciate the time you've given me. And boy, one day, one of you is going to be standing. It could be 3 or 4 of you, actually. But you're going to be standing right here. You're going to be standing right here. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Who in this room wants to be president someday? So it's an ambitious group. It's an ambitious group. That's great. Anyway, thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. For the media, thank you very much. I thought I'd do that, and we feel very strongly. Again, congratulations to all law enforcement. We have the best in the world, and they just showed it. Thank you very much.
President of the United States speaking at the White House, speaking to a group of young black leaders brought into the White House for a summit today. Their enthusiasm for the president because they're invited into the White House for this political event. The president, though, taking time at the top of that event to deliver an update on the arrest now of a suspect in the mailing of package bombs, at least alleged bombs, more than a dozen of them now around the country. The president applauding. The president had not said anything about the investigation for a couple of days, applauding the FBI, the new NYPD, other federal, state, and local agencies for what he called, quote, an incredible job in finding the needle in a haystack. That, as the president put it. You're watching on the right of your screen there a van associated with the suspect now arriving at an FBI facility in Florida to be investigated and looked at there as a potential crime scene and obviously for evidence. The president in his remarks also saying we must never allow political violence to take root in America.